Hi again from the garden. So I am filming this video on April 1st and I am out in the garden planting out my first crops of the season. I'm so excited. Today I'm planting my ranunculus outside. Now it's already in the 50s here today. Our extended forecast shows highs in the 50s and lows just in the mid 30s. And so I think it's a pretty safe time to go ahead and get these planted out in the garden. I have 4 trays of ranunculus that I need to plant, and they are definitely ready to get out of their trays. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show them to you. Okay, so here they are. This is all 4 trays of ranunculus that I have to plant out in the garden. The tray all the way over on the right here, those corms were pre-sprouted 2 weeks before the other ones, and you can see the tray next to it has almost caught up with it. But at any rate, these are really ready to go outside. And I'm also excited to free up a little bit of space on my grow shelves. So I have a couple different spots that I have set aside to put these ranunculus at. I have 2 elevated beds that I am definitely going to put these in. I want to see how many I can fit in there. I have 1 raised bed that eventually will be succession plantings of sunflowers. I'm going to put some in there, and then I may try to put some in containers in my greenhouse just as kind of a test. But depending on that, I just want to see how far I can get on these elevated beds and see how many I can fit in those spaces first. So let me go show you what those look like, and then I'll start getting everything planted. So these are the 2 beds that I was talking about where I'm going to plant the ranunculus in. These are elevated raised beds. I think I just got them from Home Depot. They're a cedar bed. And if we move a little closer, they are nice and deep. So I'm going to get this filled with a raised bed mix. I'm also going to put a little bit of mushroom compost in here. And I'm going to see how many ranunculus I can fit in these beds. So I wanted to just take a break from planting for a second just to show you guys my method. And you can see the ranunculus are lifting out of these trays really well. I mean, look at the roots on those, super healthy. So I'm planting these all 4 inches apart. So basically I first just laid out my tape measures so that I could get my spacing of the rows this way and the rows this way. And now I'm just following that grid, and I'm gonna see how many I can fit in this bed. Before I started planting, I also went ahead and added mostly new soils to these beds. Now, I had peppers planted in these last year, so this one was completely empty. This one was still full. So I took half of the soil and filled the bottom of this one. And then I amended the soil with a new organic raised bed mix by Burpee and some mushroom compost. And I think that is going to be some really good nutrients for these to start growing really fast. So I'm going to get this bed and this bed planted. We'll see how many I fit in here, and then I'll figure out where the rest of them are going first. Okay, so I have both of these raised beds planted, and I got almost 2 full trays of ranunculus in these 2 beds. I am thrilled with that. This is what I have left, and I just wanted to show you guys what the roots look like. All those white roots are just intertwined together. These plants are so healthy. I am just thrilled with how they look. So I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna plant those 2 other trays. I'm gonna get those done, and then I will show you guys what they all look like and how I'm gonna cover these. Okay, so it turns out I am out of the compost that I wanted to use to amend the soil in the other 2 spots where I'm gonna plant these ranunculus. So I'm gonna have to get some more of that and continue that tomorrow, but I need to go ahead and get these 2 raised beds covered where I just planted these other 2 trays of ranunculus. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I'm using for that. So I have a couple things that I got from Gardener Supply. My husband gave me a gift card for Christmas, which was awesome. So I ordered a couple sets of these super hoops, and these basically are just long pieces of metal hoops that you can bend, and then you can put them in the ground or in raised beds, and this is what you can drape your fabric over. So I already have one in place here. And I think 2 hoops is gonna be just perfect for these raised beds. So I'm just gonna stick this down in a little bit. And then bend it, and it is as easy as that. And then that is what the fabric is gonna drape over. Now the fabric that I have, they have 3 different kinds of garden covers. I'm pretty sure that mine is just the all-purpose fabric, which will protect plants all the way down to about 27 to 28 degrees. So that's gonna be perfect for these ranunculus. So I'm just gonna get this opened up. I'm probably gonna have to cut a small piece off of here. I'm gonna drape it over here. I'm gonna do the other bed, and then I'll show you what they look like. Good morning, it's the next day and I am up at my studio for a few photography shoots, so I wanted to pop out in the garden real quick so I could check on those ranunculus that I planted yesterday. And last night when I was laying in bed, I realized something. Look what I did. I left my other 2 trays of ranunculus outside yesterday when I was done planting them. I cannot believe I did that. They look to be fine. They actually look really good. It got down into the low 30s last night and we had some rain. So actually I think that rainwater might have been good for them. So I guess at this point I'm just gonna leave them outside today, and then I will put them in tonight because we're supposed to drop into the upper 20s. I can't believe I did that. Thank goodness they're okay. So let's go over and check the ones that are covered, which I'm sure are fine because these are fine. Oh my goodness, those look great. They look absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait till these start putting on some good growth, which should be pretty quick. So I'm gonna cover these back up. So this afternoon I'm actually going to get another load of compost, and so the rest of those ranunculus will either get planted tomorrow or the next day. So this video will pick back up then. Well, hi again from another day in the garden, and guess what? It is an entire week later and I still do not have those ranunculus planted in the ground. We have had nothing but wind, which you can tell it's super windy out here right now and cold. We also have had rain every single day, snow. There is actually snow on the ground right now. So those ranunculus have just been hanging out in my garden shed all week. They're doing just fine. In fact, I can tell they've actually put on a little growth, but they are so ready to go out in this garden. So when you're watching this video, it's probably when I'll be planting those out in the garden, along with some other hardy annuals. I have some stock and yarrow ready too. So watch for, in a few days, a follow-up to this video when I'm doing more planting out in the garden. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes. Spring in Iowa is super unpredictable, but it is still early. It is only April 9th. I have plenty of time. So anyway, stay tuned for when I actually get the rest of those planted. We'll see you soon.